Hi guys. Oh my god, yeah. I thought it might be okay, but well, it's gonna have to start this. I've got witchy poo hair. Hi guys. Hello. I should take it down. It looks a bit ridiculous. Looks so messy. Do I leave it like this? I'm doing Kimberly talking about my hair for the first 5 minutes. Hi guys. Hi Danielle. Hi Canoe. Hi Subconscious Queenie. Hi Nora. Hi Maddie. Hi Nor. Hi Christine. Hi Jasmine. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Christina. Christina, I can only see part five. It starts at part five. Where's part one to four? Guys, if you put your question a bit too early, it sometimes it doesn't save. Be very careful. I only do it like a couple of minutes before the live starts. I don't know why YouTube does this, but if you put it way too early and I come in here and I can see it, it'll disappear. Christina, all I can see is I don't want the X back, lol. It was just crazy how that happened. But prior to my SP viewing my story today is when I decided to assign the meaning above and boom, he watched it today. Okay, well, you've assigned some meaning and it's worked and the old X has come back good. It's all working. So you got birds of all land there, darling. Wonderful. I can't see the rest of it, but obviously you did that. Hi, guys. Hello. Hi, Justin. Hi, Star Moon Space. Oh, darling, how are you? Hi, Jamie. Hi, Canoe. Star Moon Space, I need to ask you a question about my AdSense. I'll message you. Okay. So I contacted SP last week. This is Baby Love because I missed him, and I guess because I wanted him to contact me. I contacted him because I really wanted to talk to him as anybody would want to talk to their man. I got no response the day I did, but I got a response the next day after I mentally told him I wanted him to talk to me. He sent me a picture of his new hair, and I responded. I got no response. I'm not letting it bother me, but any advice in this situation, like how to get consistency and not let this bother me? Look, guys, if you have an assumption that what you say isn't right, or he doesn't want you, or he doesn't want to talk to you, even when they send you a message, sit on my face, even when they send you a message, if you're a bit worried about them not responding, or they don't respond, or they don't want to be with you, they won't respond. They might send you the message and you get nothing back, and you think, oh, so what's your dominant assumption about him? Have you got a real dominant assumption that he doesn't actually want you, and that's why you instigated the contact in the first place, because you don't believe he's going to contact you first? There's some belief you got there, darling, that he doesn't want you, or something, or he's flaky or something. What's the story you got about him? Change it. Do you think that if two people been talking to each other for 4 years, dating in between those years, there's a story that both of them have that they can't leave each other alone and they share a deep connection? Or is it one person thinks those thoughts and reflected in their reality? Like, how do two people stay in each other's life romantically, even if they aren't dating? I feel like that's how with me and my SP, we have so much love for each other that we never just move on. We rather keep trying on. We rather keep trying. Well, that's the assumption you've got, darling, that it will stay like that in your reality. You've got to either decide you're fully with them and they're fully committed to you, or let that person go and decide you're with someone else. But if you've got the story that we have a pattern and we never fully end up in a relationship and we can't leave each other alone and we always go back to each other, if you've got a story that we always go back, then you're constantly manifesting the splitting up to go back, the ghosting so you go back, the going back. Why don't you manifest consistency if that's what you want? It's not their story, it's yours, darling. They're only reflecting you and your reality. So, what's your story about them and yourself? Hi, Kristen. How do you feel about tarot? Do you think the readings show the present or tell what could happen? No, it's not showing what could happen. It's showing what you currently think about what's going to happen. It's only reflecting your thinking, guys. It's not fortune telling. They're not looking at a crystal ball and telling you what's going to happen. What they're doing is reflecting your thinking about what you think is going to happen, what you think about you and the situation. I've got bad tarot readings and I just tell myself to shift my thinking, and that was said in the reading won't happen. Yes, but it's reflecting your thinking. So you obviously have some shitty thinking. My tarot doesn't do that. My tarot is very positive. I very, very, very rarely on my view page get any kind of tarot that's negative. And it's the same tarot all the time, either about career, relationship, me as a person. It's very similar all the time. And that could just be the algorithm picking up that I was sending that thinking out, and then more of that turns up. But it's very, very similar all the time, and it constantly reflects my actual affirmation words. And I bookmark them because I find it so amusing that literally my affirmation was just in the title or in what the person said in the first line or whatever. I just go favorite because I just find it so funny because it's like confirmation of my thinking. It's all tarot is, guys. It's confirmation of what you're currently and previously thinking. It's not predicting the future. Hi, Lo. So you must be thinking bad shit. That's why you're looking at the heroin in the first place. Why are you looking? Just press not interested until your mind changes. Hi, Loz. I told myself I was tired of no physical movement in my 3D, so I was going to manifest celebrating finishing my law school entrance exam with my SP. The 3D indicated he would likely be in a different city celebrating a friend's birthday, but I still persisted that he chose to stay home, would be at this bar, and we would celebrate together. It happened just like I affirmed. Wonderful. It happened just like your friend, right down to the friend he was with. He seemed so happy to see me. He was eagerly waiting for me to lock eyes and notice him. He ended up coming to me, and we had a very short, brief convo where I noticed him blushing, and then he left. Later, he walked past me holding hands with the girl, but held my gaze the entire time. We both smiled and laughed about it. I wasn't too affected. Wonderful. As I know no one compares to me, but I couldn't help but feel like if I'm chosen SP affirmations working in the last 6 months, he would have tried talking to me more. I'm so confused how things happen. Like I affirmed he ended up being there with with a third party. I accidentally came across a photo of them where she hinted at them being a relationship, having a hard time getting back on the horse, I guess. So I'm so thrown off. My mental diet has been strict for months. Look, guys, if a third party actually does show up in your reality, it's a sure sign that you do still have some I'm not chosen, other girls compare to me, I'm not good enough to get the relationship thinking, whatever one of those three, right? That you're not enough to be chosen. There's something going on there with you, darling, where you're still thinking that way about yourself, and that's how they show up. If you really truly thought that you were the chosen one, if you really truly believed that, if you really truly believed that they loved you, that would be happening. Like, I'm not joking, guys. When it's directly reflected, you've really got to look at it and go, am I really thinking they love me? Am I really thinking I'm the chosen one? Really? No, I'm not. Be honest, and you'll discover it. Either that or it's old shitty thinking you had before that he might find someone else and it's just playing out and you don't be thrown. HM, Loz, prior to discovering manifestation was religious and felt I was religious and felt incredibly restricted by my religion and parents, as does everyone, darling, who grew up indoctrinated by any kind of religion. But now I think all religions are man-made and I'm no longer religious. Wonderful, darling. Good for you. Hooray, freedom. That being said, now I'm not afraid of going to hell. Oh God. All I want to do is experiment. In your honest opinion, is it wrong that I want to manifest casual hookups before settling with most people? No. You decide what's good for you. If you decide a casual hookup is good, good. Remember that Jesus' best friend was a prostitute. Okay, right? It doesn't matter. It's what you think. If that moral or ethical issue in your mind is still plaguing you, like, oh, casual hookups are bad, that's still a religious undertone or a societal undertone you got that's bad. It's not bad at all. It's what you decide is good or not good for you. You can hook up with a million guys if you want and get married tomorrow. Mhm. Won't affect manifesting your SP. Hey, Loz, my birthday was last week. Happy birthday, darling. Expecting SP to message me, but got one from a past fling. I've no idea how he even remembered. Also, a good friend, Friends with Benefits, is now telling me things I affirm my SP would think and feel about me. And for several days now, I've been affirming that I'm a winner, always win contests. And this morning, my brother told me he won a big prize. All these birds will land. Should I take them as a good sign? Yes, darling. Getting tired of this intense affirming. Only get birds will land, haha, but I'll keep persisting. Look, guys, sometimes the birds will land come thick and fast, and it can be a bit annoying because you're thinking, how come this is working for everyone else but not for me? Keep persistent, darling. It'll work. It's working, so it will work with your respect. Change the story about them. I know a guy keeps begging my best friend to go out with him, and even though she always says no, he continues. Is it because he has low self-esteem or because her self-concept is so good? She probably has an assumption that that guy likes her a lot, or that all guys that she doesn't like pursue her, or she's got a story about herself being great and he's pursuing her. It's got nothing to do with him. Or she's got a story he's got low self-esteem and he's desperate and needy, and whatever the story is, she's got about him and herself. Mhm. She might even have a story that all the guys I like pursue me and the guys I don't like don't pursue me. She could have that kind of story. A lot of people have that kind of story. A visualization scene where an SP and I have a good conversation where he's in desperate state and begs me back together. Would that be good? Yes, you can do that, darling, if you really want to. But that also implies that you aren't together now. But if it works for you, do it. If that works, do it. Nora, I was in love with a good friend for decades and haven't been manifesting him, but out of nowhere, 5 years, no contact. He called me and asked if we could come out to California for a few weeks to see me. Oh, really? An affirmation that helps me. Everything always works out for me, and there's always movement, even if I don't see it. They're great. Hi, Lois. I really want to be an influencer and make YouTube videos and get paid to do promos. My TikTok was doing so well, gaining followers, but I was also being consistent. Over time, I stopped. Well, posting as much and randomly started losing followers. Now my influencer dreams are kind of like going down because it seems It don't matter if I post TikTok, it's not the same. But why did you stop? I know that when I started my YouTube channel years ago in 2016, my comedy YouTube channel, I stopped. And the reason was because I was overwhelmed. I was trying to produce too much content in a week. I was producing two scripted YouTube videos a week, which was way too intense for me to edit and everything in that time. And it was so overwhelming for me, I burnt out, right? I completely burnt out. But if I'm really honest with myself, it wasn't just that. It was because I'm a perfectionist. I couldn't just churn out any old shit. It needed to be perfect. And I didn't think it was good enough because I don't think I'm good enough. And I didn't think that at the time. And that's why I didn't pursue it. So everything that happens in your career also has to do with your self concept. So if you don't feel good enough or you compare yourself constantly to other people's follower numbers or their TikTok influence, or the fact that you're not getting money yet for paid promos or bloody, bloody, blah, then you're just comparing yourself to others and you'll constantly feel wanting, and then you'll feel like you're not enough and you'll stop because you're constantly comparing yourself to other people. The fact that you're even asking and talking about paid promos right now and you've only just started tells me that what you're doing is looking at others. Be in your own bubble, guys. Be in your own lane. When you're ever doing anything career wise and it's a really competitive market, my recommendation to you is this: be like you're in a bowling alley and you're only looking at your pins and you're not comparing yourself to any other influencer or their numbers or what they're doing. If I can't compare myself to the dumb morons on TikTok who've got 1 million followers, who've been there longer than me, who churn out these clickbait videos of manifest in 2 days and manifest in 17 seconds and the universe will provide and all this crap, I'd be constantly worried that my following isn't working, right? That my following isn't building. And yet I have an incredibly loyal following and a group of followers probably larger and more loyal than any of those people with 1 million people, right? My 9,500 people in my Facebook group are a lot more loyal than probably the 500,000 people that still look at those accounts. I truly believe that my following is loyal, right? So it's up to you what you believe. It doesn't matter to me the number. I've only got 80,000 or whatever on my TikTok. It doesn't, like, the number means nothing to me. And numbers don't mean anything, darling. You've got to understand that a follower number means shit. You know the amount of idiots on TikTok who talk about manifestation who literally have 5 times, 10 times the followers I do, and they literally don't know what they're talking about? Follower number doesn't mean anything. And it doesn't mean you're going to get paid promos just because you've got that number, a high number. Decide that you get paid promos without a high number. Decide that with a small following, you have loyal followers and people love your content and they want to pay you for your small following. You're a micro influencer. Decide that and decide that that means it works. Oh, phone's ringing. Um, okay, just decide the number of following you want, but I would worry less about the following and more about, I consistently churn out content. I have such a paid, so I get so many paid promos. See that. Write down, script what you want, and imagine you have it. Hi, Loz, really want to be asked at the one. How to know if the way I'm feeling is the Sabbath, manifesting SPs versus not caring if it's him or someone else. But I know I still want to be with him. I just don't care as much anymore. I don't know what to make of it. Well, that's good that you don't care as much anymore, darling. That's called indifference, and that will help you with manifesting them. So don't worry about it. That's really encouraging. 5 year no contact friends. So I agree with the affirmation. There is always movement, even if you don't see it. Yes. I had issues. Abandonment, abuse, neglect, feeling unchosen. I'm still working on it. Help me to rewrite the old story. Several ones. Have inner conversations. Yes, guys, don't assume you have issues. Once you've discovered the issues, this is the whole point of my account. I don't want you to discover all the issues you've got, your self-concept issues, and then dwell on them and be that person. Okay, you've discovered them. Now we're changing them. We're not dwelling there. We're not staying there. Okay, a lot of people think that's what I'm teaching. It's absolutely not what I'm teaching at all. Loz, I got triggered when I found out that his girlfriend and her kids met his family. Don't worry about it, darling. Does the quote fake it till you make it a good manifestation advice? Not really, because you're faking it out here is what people mean. Faking it in your mind, yes. Not out here. Don't do that acting as if bullshit. Walking down the street in a wedding dress, wearing a wedding ring on your finger like a nutcase, and then people go, are you married? Right? You're doing it in your mind. You're faking it in your mind. Yes, do that. But darling, if you're getting triggered by the girlfriend, his kids met his family, maybe she pressured him. Give it a good story. He doesn't even like her and he's just doing it because the family asked him or whatever. Just because someone meets your family doesn't mean shit. You've got an assumption that it means something. What is the difference between affirming I'm in a relationship, us affirming SP wants me at all costs? Don't they both get us in the same state? Well, guys, it's up to you if it's confusing in your mind. If saying they're coming back and they're here isn't confusing, do you say it? If saying he wants me and we're in it already. Well, if it doesn't confuse you, say it. Guys, I'm not in your mind. Only you know if that's confusing you. Also, Loz, I forgot to mention about I dreamt about my SP twice one night, and some days ago, literally never dreamt about him before. I must say I was shook in a good way. Oh, good, darling. Oh, God, this just jumped. Where am I? Oh, God damn it. This really jumped then. Mm, fuck. Here I am. Yes, only a circumstance doesn't mean anything. Yes, people meet family all the time and they still break up. Exactly. Hey, Loz, I'm so sorry about Safi. Thank you, darling. I've been crying with you, watching your lives. I have two cats and I know they're babies and more. Sending love. Oh, thank you. Living consciously. Yeah. Look, she's on so many of the old lives. I realized the other day, I've only just posted like a month ago her 20th birthday, which was last year. So she's going to be on a lot more of the lives. She's going to live on in all the videos. And she constantly wanted to sit on my lap, especially when I was living in the old house where I sat on the couch and did the lives. Whereas when I sat in the chair in my bedroom, she didn't get to jump across and sit on me quite so often because my lap wasn't right near her. But thank you, darling. Hey, Loz, can you explain how much control we have of everyone in our reality? No, you don't have any control, such as things like control over the pandemic and wars going on around the world. Why don't we have control over those? There's no such thing as you don't have control over. Okay, a lot of people misunderstand this for manifesting. Everyone's reflecting you. So, in terms of the world, it's how you see the world. If you think the pandemic's going to affect you and world hunger or, inflation prices is going to affect you, it will affect you. If you start freaking out at the moment that a recession is coming and it's going to cost me $500 more, like the average US family a month to live, well, it will. If I decide that okay, for example, with my course coming out, now I could decide that because there's all this recession talk, that it's a really bad idea for me to release my course and my coaching and no one's going to buy it. If I decide that, that'll be true. But if I decide that everyone wants love and everyone wants to improve themselves and no one cares and they're still going to buy my stuff because they're loyal to me and they want what I have to offer, regardless of if there's a recession, then they will. It's your assumption about it. That's what you have control over. All you have control over is your own thinking about the world, your own thinking about other people, your own thinking about yourself. You're not controlling anyone. You're not doing magic. Uh-huh. Hi, Lois. How come some girls who are in horrible relationships who finally break up with their boyfriend, then all of a sudden the boyfriend does everything to get them back? Well, because they change. So when they split up, and if it was horrible before, and then they decide that I'm a great person and I deserve better, and that guy was a dick, and I'm getting on with my life, and then they go, "Oh my god, I've lost the greatest girl ever," because when she was with him, her self-concept was in the shitter. That's how he treated her, and they had a horrible relationship in the first place because of her self-concept. Everyone's simply reflecting you guys. Some of you aren't getting this yet. They're only reflecting you. So if you're in a horrible relationship, you had some real horrible thinking about that guy and some real horrible thinking about yourself to have caused a horrible relationship. Mhm. Had a quick question. Do you need to live in the end state throughout the entire day? If you can, but it's not necessary. It's quite impossible, but you can try. Jump back on the horse, as Neville said. Not, he didn't say jump back on the horse. Jump back on the beam. Get back on the beam. Good morning, Lois. Long time no see. Oh, John Darling. I saw SP last weekend and he basically asked me to wait for him until December because his ex came back in the picture and he doesn't want any string attached when dating me. I need to work on being chosen, but what does that say about me if men basically kept having me wait for them? The last guy I wanted was in the talking stage for 3 years and never dated. Well, you've got a story that you don't actually get the relationship, that you're the girl in waiting, that you're the girl in the wings. Get rid of that story. That you're not chosen by them, that they won't level up, they won't step up, they won't wipe you up. What's your story there about you and them? Hello? Well, I saw someone saying they revised their SP's death. Are they lying? Well, did you see the SP on the live? Were they sitting there alive with that person? There's some fucking idiots, guys, who talk about revising death. And then you think, okay, where's the person? Show me. Get on your live with all these people you apparently revised death of. You're apparently so much stronger and such a much better manifester than Neville Goddard because you're so magical and you're so amazing. And show me and produce the evidence of this. If they're talking about the person was having a heart attack and they imagine they were well and imagine them not dying and then they didn't die, you can absolutely do that. I've imagined for someone who's very sick and could have died and they were fine, right? And I just kept imagining and imagining, and they were imagining for themselves and they were affirming for themselves. But did I revise their death? Revise means they actually died. So no, I don't think that's possible, but tell them to produce the non-corpse. Then we'll all believe them. Any affirmations for arranged marriage of SP not to happen? We'll just assume they're married to you, darling. Stop assuming that they're going to go ahead with it. Stop assuming they're in a culture where that has to happen and they stick by that and they go along with whatever anyone says they have to do. See them married to you if that's what you want. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Loz. Literally just watched your live where you got emotional. You're so amazing. You mentioned that then it's good to be vulnerable. Yes, good to be vulnerable. My ex-SP talks to his ex every day and it would trigger me. I told him it made me feel insecure, and the fact that he kept friendships with all his exes, dates, people he had sex with, and it made me insecure, and he hated my insecurities. I would cry and be vulnerable, but he didn't care. In fact, that's why he didn't want to be with me, because he didn't want to stop talking to these girls. It hurt me so much and still does. I'm doing chosen affirmations, but I cry. Like you did just doing those affirmations. I want to be loved for me and my insecurity. No, Nancy, I'm sorry. They're not going to love you for your insecurity. You're expecting them. You've not understood that video where I was upset. What I was trying to say in that video was, I have an assumption that I'm not chosen because I feel like something's wrong with me. And so I constantly choose people, if this is the video you're talking about, that already are in love with someone else, have just got out of a marriage, something, or have issues, right? There's something they're choosing outside of me that isn't me. If I don't change that, they won't change. And I can't expect the person, even though I'm being vulnerable in my feelings, to change the reflection of me if all I'm reflecting out is I'm still insecure. I don't want you to talk to others. I'm insecure about you talking to others. All they can do, Matsy, is reflect you. So if you don't change that insecurity, they won't change. You can't ask a person to change. All they can do is reflect you. It's like a mirror. You can't ask the mirror. I can't have no makeup on my face and wake up every morning and ask the mirror every morning like it's magic, like mirror, mirror on the wall. Every time I look in you, I want makeup on my face. And I want to walk out the house with makeup on my face. The mirror is not going to reflect that. It can only reflect what I currently look like when I've just woken up in the morning looking like shit. That's all it's going to reflect. So all he's reflecting back to you is all your insecurities. And if you don't change those, no amount of vulnerable conversation and expressing your feelings and vomiting all your stuff onto him and expecting him to accept it is going to make any difference, because all they can do is reflect you. And if you don't change those insecure thoughts and feel chosen, he won't change and he won't accept it. And he'll stay like that until you change the story about him wanting other girls and the story about you being unwanted by him. You're not understanding this. They can only reflect you. Guys, a lot of you are using being vulnerable as an excuse to expect the person to accept all your crap. They're only going to reflect your crap back. So if you don't change, the whole situation is going to stay the same. Don't ask the mirror to change your face. You can only change your face, guys. Got it? Does everyone understand that analogy? If you're expecting that person to change and they have not changed, it's like expecting the mirror to change when you haven't changed your face in the mirror. Got it? Really think about that, how that's not possible. So that's all life is. Everyone is simply reflecting you like a mirror. What are you mirroring out? All of insecurities? The insecure things that you're insecure about will keep showing up like girls in his life until you change that insecurity, because he can't do anything but reflect you. Yes, your question got deleted. I didn't see your super chat either. Oh no, Christina, you sent me a super chat. Oh shit, darling, thank you. Darling, put the question again, will you? I just saw number 5 and parts 1 to 4 were completely gone. You just put it a little bit too early before the chat started, before the live started. Put it again. Did you write it somewhere else? Oh, sorry, Christina. Oh, thank you for your super chat. I didn't even see it. Silly thing. I'm laying in bed with fiance and manifested 3 months ago with your help. Love you and blessings. What's this, Michelle? I'm laying in bed with my fiance. I manifested 3 months ago with your help. Oh, really, darling? Wonderful. What did you do? Tell us. That's great. What a great story. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Loz, help. How do I live in the end 24/7? You probably can't, darling, so don't even try. Seriously. Hang on, I've missed a lot here. My brother said he saw my SP and his girlfriend looks pregnant. What can I affirm that she's not? Well, stop assuming she is and stop assuming that's true and stop listening to dumb people in your life telling you things that you're afraid of. Are you afraid she might be pregnant? Are you afraid she might get pregnant? Are you afraid that they're really serious? Then it will happen and you'll literally manifest that. So stop imagining that. Revise the whole conversation. I don't understand what it means that we manifest everything. Like I never manifested the Titanic sinking, lol. Were you in that reality at that time there? Were you on the Titanic? Guys, it's what's in your immediate reality right now. It's everyone's reflecting you in your reality. It's only what's in your reality. That's why a lot of you are thinking manifestation is this whole worldly thing. It's just what's in your own reality immediately now. Right? Hang on. I've heard that you say that if an SP treated us horribly, then if our self-concept was good, we want them back. What if it was a parent or grandparent that treated us poorly? Now that my self-concept is good, I don't want them in my life. Well, if you don't want the parent or grandparent in your life, you can manifest them away or decide they don't bother you anymore, or you can decide that your relationship with them is great and they treat you beautifully now, and all that's revised and changed, and your childhood might have been shit and it might have been terrible with those people, but now they're better to you, wonderful to you, loving to you. See them differently and they will change, or decide they're not in your reality. I've tried everything. What's this, Audrina? I've even tried focusing only on me, but now it feels like I've given up, which makes me sad. What's this, Audrina? Where's the beginning of it? I can't see any question that you're referring to. To do. It just says to do. I've tried everything. I've even tried focusing only on me, but now it feels like I've given up, which makes me sad. Darling, if you give up, you're giving up on yourself. You understand? Put the whole question again. I can't see it. What are you giving up on? If you give up on your SP, you're giving up on yourself. It's up to you if you want to do that. I'm laying in bed. Oh, I saw that one. That's great. Loz, if I don't know if I still want my SP back, I found someone that's been pursuing me and treating me like a goddess queen that I'm, lol. He's been saying back all my affirmations that I've been for myself. Wonderful. Well, guys, sometimes you don't want your SP back when a better one comes along that treats you better, doesn't have the old story attached. I'm not saying they're better, but they treat you better. They turn up better. Have that one. Hi, Loz. GTSY. Hi, all in chat. Happy solstice. What's GTSY mean? I don't know what that means. Happy solstice. Oh, thank you, darling. I don't believe in my worth. I know and live it. Flip the switch. Wonderful. I don't believe my worth. I know it. Oh, wonderful. I keep hearing different perspectives on this, that if you do something wrong to your SP, then you shouldn't manifest them back. Oh, fuck it. Mason. And it's harder. Guys, you're manifesting all the time. If you're listening to any kind of moronic creator who says you can't do XYZ manifestation because of XYZ, they're not understanding that you're manifesting all the time. They're talking about manifesting as something to start doing, an action, a thing, this thing that you start doing. I'm going to start manifesting my SP. No, you manifested the breakup, you dumb see you next Tuesday who shouldn't be creating videos about manifestation because you simply don't understand that you manifest your reality with your dominant habitual subconscious thought. You are such a moron, you should not be creating videos. Stop listening to morons. You're always creating. You created the breakup. If the person treated you like shit when you were together and it was all kinds of wrong, or because you thought you were wrong, well, you did that, didn't you? You manifested that. If you think it's harder, it'll be harder. You're manifesting that. You're manifesting everything with your dominant thinking. If you think it's harder, it'll be harder. If you think you're wrong, everything will go wrong. If you think you're wrong, that you might upset people. If you think you're wrong, they won't choose you. If you think you're wrong, you'll manifest all kinds of fucking wrong. Stop watching fucking morons. Some of you, I seriously think some of you are so desperate for manifestation content, you'll just watch any old fuckwit who is making a video. Please be careful who you watch. They'll confuse you. And then you're coming in with questions like this about, oh, it's going to be harder if I manifest them back because it went wrong or it was wrong. You're the one who decided it was wrong. You're the one who decided it was hard. You're the one deciding all that. So therefore you're manifesting. Stop watching fucking idiots. Fuck me. I've been affirming I'm pretty, I'm beautiful, etc., but still feel insecure, ugly, and hate the way I look, especially when I look in the mirror. Any advice, please? Well, Brandon, what happened to you as a kid? Did your mum constantly tell you how to look, or wanted you to dress up all the time, put makeup on, or talked about your weight, or compared yourself to your sisters, or what happened there? Or she was obsessed with her looks, or something, or you were made to feel not pretty, or something was wrong with your face, like you had a cleft lip, or it's bad skin, or something's going on here where you constantly feel not enough in your looks. What happened? That's why it's happening. And until you change that thinking, won't matter how much makeup you put on, how much surgery you have, like those people who go to surgeons and change themselves a million times and still hate themselves and still can't see themselves in the mirror any differently because it's their mind they have to change, not their looks. Go and read Psycho-Cybernetics, darling. This book about a plastic surgeon who realized that it didn't matter how much surgery he did on people, if their brain was fucked, they were fucked. Right? Go read that, please. See yourself as beautiful, but investigate where you're getting that from. 12 like 76 watching. Come on, we can do better. Hit the like button. Oh, thank you, darling. Khloe Kardashian got cheated on many times. Does that mean she has a mindset that she's not chosen? Absolutely. Think about how fucked up her self-concept is compared to the other girls in the family, right? Why does she feel that way? Was she the ugly duckling? Was she the odd one out? Was she the tall, bigger one? Was she the one who had light skin instead of Middle Eastern looking skin? Did she look very different? Did she stand out like a sore thumb? How can I identify my childhood issues? Guys, when my self-concept course comes out, there'll be an assessment. It'll be very easy to assess what they are. But until then, sit down and write all your thinking for 20 minutes or write down what you're triggered by and you'll realize where that's coming from. Oh, Christina, okay, here's your question. Part 1, you told me last time if I gave up on my SP, I'm giving up on myself. Yes, it hit home. Been going super hard and affirming for me and SP. I got what I think is movement this past Friday. He watched my IG story after months. This was the fuel I needed and I went harder. During this time, I said to myself, the reason he doesn't watch my stories is because it hurts him too much to see me living without him. Wonderful. I affirmed through the weekend and I posted a story today and he watched it again. I'm on the right path. I feel like I'm getting a lot of birds for land, like an ex has been texting and calling a lot and wanted to hang out today. This is an ex who swore he would never speak to me again after we split. I hope you got my super chat. Thank you for everything. Oh, wonderful, darling. It's working. That was only last week. Well, you made a lot of progress in 1 week. Keep going, darling, because that's working. So now instead of looking for validation in 3D like the stories, just assume he's constantly thinking about you regardless of whether you post a story or not. And he has to be with you. Wonderful, darling. Hey, you're doing that. Keep going. Whatever you're doing is working. Hang on, I'm going up. Was that all you wanted to tell me or was there a question? If there's a question, Christina, put it. Nat Cohen, good morning, Lords. SB2 called again last night. Of course, he was talking about making so many plans for school holidays with our kids and birthdays. I really feel like I've stepped into the new Nat and no longer get anxious about anything. Got 2 on the go. I know you say not give attention to fears, but I had some crazy fears, doubts since last year and worked hard to get rid of it. And now I've noticed my mind automatically says things like, that's not happening. That never happened. Wonderful. Like randomly reassuring me, even when I don't think I'm thinking of the fear. That's great. If your mind's reassuring you instead of jumping straight to the fear, darling, wonderful. Is that bad? No, that's great. At first it felt fine, but I got scared that even thinking that I was giving it attention. No, your mind's like on top of it. You're changing your mind with new thought. That's great. I have to correct my thinking a lot. My mind has to correct my mind a lot. Don't worry about it. Yes, we're all on Team Lost Forever. Oh, Jamie, thank you. I've seen a lot of manifestation coaches that say every word you say says about manifestations. Who the fuck are you watching, Danielle? That says every word you says about manifestations. Oh, I've been seeing a lot of manifestation coaches that say every word you say about manifestation. Talk about the copycats. I'm trying to assume there aren't copycats, but I discover them every day and there's some unoriginal people. Look at that poor girl called The Honest Mum, and there's a girl who literally is copying her content word for word, her videos word for word, and she even called herself The Honest Mum Anna. And now people are realizing she's copying their content word for word. And this girl's making a whole account about copying people. Like, guys, if anyone's copying me or, anyone else, like, they're just a bit unoriginal. I feel sad for them if they don't have their own critical thinking and their own critical thought. And it says a lot about them if they're copycats, that they don't believe enough in themselves to talk about their own stuff. I saw a girl on TikTok say that if your thing hasn't manifested and something better is coming, well, who are you watching, Mason? You're watching fucking idiots. Is there a state to be rich? Well, what state are rich people in? They're not worried about money. They're not constantly worrying about not paying the bills next week. They don't haggle over the bill, although some people do. You can be frugal and rich. I know a lot of frugal rich people, but they don't assume they can't afford it. They might be haggling and cheap, but they can afford the My dad used to have a best friend who was loaded, multimillionaire, and he used to buy a child's ticket at the cinema, right? Okay. It's whatever you're thinking about that. You can assume you're frugal and be rich and assume you have the money at home or tucked away in the bank or in investments, but you're not going to pay the full price ticket. So your assumption about money that makes you rich. There's a book called Think and Grow Rich, and he interviews 12 of the richest Americans, and they all think the same way about money. Go and read it. Today I worked on self-concept and I felt so much better. I've been also affirming he only gets my positive thoughts, but why do I feel like the thoughts won't cause him and third party to break up? Because you keep thinking she's the problem. Why do I feel like he'll only miss me but will decide to stay with her regardless if I say no one compares to me? Well, you've got a real problem with her, darling, and thinking she's the problem and she's going to stay there regardless of what you do, so she will. If you see her as the obstacle and you keep the obstacle in your mind and you keep her there, she'll stay. Guys, when you focus on the obstacle, including third parties, they stick around. That's why I keep saying don't talk about them, think about them, ruminate about them, imagine them. Hello, hi, Limba. What to affirm for a closeted man who was with me for 2 years and 7 months? Hang on, it's just chopped. Well, stop saying they're closeted. Start saying they're out and proud. Where is it? Closeted man was with me for 2 years, and for 7 months now, he's been with a third party, a female, as engaged. We still talk. He still reaches out to me, want more guidance. We'll start seeing him as out and proud and not ashamed of his gayness anymore, and everyone accepts him for who he really is, and he doesn't like women and he wants you, and he's with you. If he's with you, fully with you, showing you off to people, have imaginary scenes where he's introducing you to his family and friends. That would imply that he's out, he's with you, and the girlfriend doesn't exist. There is always movement behind the scenes. Yes, that's great. Can we tap into another's beauty to enhance our own by affirming it or otherwise? What do you mean tap into another's beauty? Guys, this isn't witchcraft. You're not stealing beauty from other people. But if you want to imagine yourself looking like that person, see yourself that way, you'll start changing. Is that what you mean? I have sinusitis for almost 4 years after I caught a virus from one of my cousins. Right now, I'm revising that. I'm afraid that it won't go away because I should affirm that I don't have sinusitis. If you're afraid of it, it'll stay there. I don't have sinusitis. I didn't catch any virus. Oh, that virus was, that doctor got that all wrong. I don't have anything wrong with my sinuses. They're just a bit blocked at the moment. I remember when my sinuses used to be blocked. I remember when I had such problems with my sinuses. That's all gone. So, is changing old story of SP linked to self-concept? Yes. I feel great. Maybe I think I still have old story because we have minimal contact. Guys, look, you came up with the story, didn't you? Now, how did you come up with the old story you got about your SP? It's based on your self-concept. So when you're starting to change the story about them, it's linked completely to your old self-concept because you created it. I'm manifesting my SP, but I'm busy lately with school. I don't think about him a lot, but I still want to be with him. Any tips on keeping mental diet, keeping up with school? Well, just decide that you can do both, that school doesn't bother you and you're still mentally on top of your mental diet even when you're at school and busy. Smash that like button. Oh, thank you, darling. Lois, I finally made it to a live after so long. I want a full glow up of all areas of my life. Not sure how to go about it. Love you. I fully glowed up. Everyone's so jealous of my glow up. Everyone's commenting on how much I've glowed up. Everyone's commenting on how much I've leveled up. I've got this now and this now and this now and this now. People are so jealous of me. Say that. My SP used to stream playing video games on Twitch and has some of his old videos up, and sometimes I watch them, just pretend sitting there with him while he's playing. Oh, that's lovely, darling. Living in my queen energy because he would do anything to go out of his way to see me and spend time with me. Love you, Loz. Sorry, I can't stay with live. Oh, Megan, that's lovely. Queen energy, wonderful. Yes, I'm here for you, of course. Oh, here for my course. Oh, thank you. Hi, Elma, darling. What's up? What's up with you? That is so clever. Maybe I've seen your SP on Twitch. Yes. I just manifested $1 million. Never happened how I thought it would come about. What's the matter? You just manifested $1 million. Does that say 1 million? Am I counting the zeros correctly? Holy shit. How did you do that? Tell us. My God. How do I change that story? I always get the relationships I want. I always get what I want. That's the new story. I always get the relationships I want. I've always had beautiful relationships. You can revise your whole life and say, I've always had beautiful relationships. I always have got what I want. Any tips for getting a mental diet and keeping up with schoolwork? I've said that. Stop focusing on the schoolwork as a problem. I was getting upset because I was starting to forget what he looked like and sounded like, so I need a reminder. Yeah, do that, guys, if you're forgetting. Is self-concept the same as self-love, self-esteem? No, guys. Your concept of yourself is what you think of you, your idea of you. So self means you and concept means idea in the mind, idea that you've conceived of yourself, okay? So you can think you love yourself, but you can think relationships don't work out, or you can think men cheat, but I'm so beautiful, but they're going to cheat on me because they want women more beautiful than me. Or I can't trust men because my dad cheated. So I might be the most beautiful woman in the world and love myself and think I'm beautiful, but all men cheat. Okay, it's your concept of other people in your world the world and yourself. That's concept. Okay. Self-love and self-esteem is completely different. It's part of it, like thinking you're confident, loving yourself, all those things, but it's not concept. Concept is what you're constantly reflecting out. You can say you love yourself all you like, and you can have the most fucked relationships or fucked career, and you're wondering why it's not working. Hmm. A lot of people have fake self-love and fake self-confidence, and then they wonder why their life's going down the drain because they haven't actually changed their really dominant thinking they've had since childhood about themselves, and their self-concept is what they think is strong is actually fake. I saw your video on friends with benefits. It was perfect timing. I needed it. Thank you so much. I don't want to date other people, but also don't want to feel obsessive. I know between knowing it's done to doubt. I go between knowing it's done to doubts. Look, that can happen, guys, but try and stay in the knowing state as much as you possibly can. Okay. It is so crazy because we used to work together. I got a new job. It's so crazy because some of our memories I have becoming fuzzy. Well, don't worry, darling. Just keep looking at pictures and things. My He was drunk and a couple of weeks ago and jokingly told another female who was talking to the love of his life, which was my affirmation. I kept affirming it's how he really feels. Oh, wonderful, darling. Love that. Loz, would you manifest that your children don't trigger SP's PTSD? Yes, I'm having trouble changing SP's triggers in past relationships. Well, you've got a story that they've got PTSD. You've got a story that their past relationships fucked them up. You've got a story that your children are all kinds of trouble. So until you change all those stories, it won't change. Why is everything that you do and your children affecting him and your fault? Have you got a whole lot of story about you fuck things up, you do things wrong, you affect him, you're triggering him? Why have you put him on such a pedestal and it's all about him? Are you working on yourself? You seem to be blaming a whole lot of stuff that you're doing on his problems. Stop saying that. I'm confused about this. I know that people are showing up reflecting us. However, does that mean how we are showing up for others reflecting them and their self-concept? Yes, in their reality. Our realities intersect. No, they're different. Everyone's in their own separate reality. That's the only way that this can work. If everyone was in the same reality, how could we be reflecting out and other people reflecting back? It wouldn't work. There'd be mirrors going bing, 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 bing. It wouldn't work. Thank you so much for that explanation. I promise you, I'm working on my self-concept. Can't wait to share my success story with you. I have a loyal following me. You have a loyal following me. Oh, Matthew, wonderful. Okay, got it? Okay, good. Thank you, Loz. Because of your teaching, I manifested my dream apartment. Oh, Princess, did you? Congratulations. So we don't have control over others. No. But we manifest everything. Yes. I'm just confused about it. Please yell at me. How can we manifest money for someone else? You don't have any, the only control you have is your thinking. Guys, they're not puppets. You've got to understand, no one's a robot or a puppet in your reality. That's where people think they're controlling people's minds. Like, I'm controlling you, I'm sending thought out, and I'm influencing you like a voodoo doll. You're not voodooing anyone, puppeting anyone. They're simply reflecting you. That's why a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to change their SP, focusing on SP affirmations, and they wonder why it hasn't fucking worked. Or when the person shows up, it all blows up in their face and they split up again because they haven't changed themselves and their old triggers are there and they're the same old bitch they used to be, and it blows up in their fucking face because all they did was saw the other person differently, but they didn't see themselves differently. And all that person could do was reflect them, and then the fucking relationship falls apart. I used to see it constantly in every single manifestation group I was in because no one focused on self-concept properly. You're not controlling other people, guys. Stop thinking of it that way. How can we manifest money for someone else? See them as rich, see them with money, see them telling you, hear them telling you they've got money all of a sudden. Hi, I'm new here. I love your teaching style. Really made it so much easier for me to really get an understanding of how my thoughts create. Oh, good, Angela, good. I honestly have manifested things I never believed possible, like my new Range Rover. Oh, no, I love that. With ease. This is how I know I can get my SP, and all that matters is persistent living in the end. Guys, you can manifest a car, you can manifest your SP, exactly. Good to see you. Oh, good to see you. Is that what that means? Me with the abbreviations, honestly, guys. I'm too old. On me, but no movement. I feel discouraged. I've done visuals, affirmations, etc., and nothing's happening. Internally, I feel like it's impossible and unnatural. I don't know how to get motivated again. Reading Neville, and even that doesn't work. I'm sorry for the pity party, just feeling burnt out and unsure what to do. When I do meditations and try to imagine us together, it feels so fake. Well, Audrina, give up then, darling, because you're not understanding this. You're the one thinking it's not working. You're the one thinking it's impossible and unnatural. You're thinking that. That's your fucking thinking. So what do you think is going to happen? Did you not manifest the breakup? Did you not manifest losing them? That's the part you haven't understood. I listened to Neville for a long time before I really, 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 really got it that I create everything, that I am the only cause. When you can really get that, you understand that nothing's impossible because it wasn't impossible for you to cause the breakup, was it? You didn't even realize you were doing it. All of you are manifesting unknowingly. You didn't even realize you caused your own breakup with your shitty thinking. You've got to go back there and identify that and understand that and accept that. And until you do, you'll see this as impossible and unnatural. And you'll see this is some kind of magic trick you're trying to do. And then you'll be fucked, Audrina, because you're trying to think of this as something to start doing. And you don't realize you're currently doing it by even saying things like it's impossible and unnatural and nothing's working for you. And so nothing's fucking working because you're saying it's impossible and unnatural and nothing's happening. So what do you think's going to fucking happen? You're doing that. Oh my God, it isn't impossible. I'm doing it right now. Oh, fuck. Maybe I should listen to Neville and understand what he means by I am the only cause. Oh, wow, I'm causing my reality to go to shit because I'm saying things in my mind like it's impossible, unnatural, and nothing's happening. Say the complete opposite and things will change. It's not letting me tag you. Just see yourself driving the car, telling people you've got a new car and your dream car. Trust me, girl, if I can do it with a piece of cake. Look, I did the exact same thing with my car. That's exactly how I got my car, and I was told I could get no credit. And I got credit in my car and the exact car I wanted. Exactly done. Why would you recommend to wait for SP to take action? Because taking action's got nothing to do with manifesting. I don't recommend you do anything action-wise. I say you don't need to take action. If you want to go and take action, do. But a lot of you are taking action out of fear. I'm not saying you have to wait for your SP to take action, but a lot of you are taking action because you don't believe you can do this with your mind. Are you doing it and taking action because you don't believe they're going to contact you? If you can believe you can contact them and they're going to love it and the outcome's going to be great, contact them all you fucking like us. I actually have a friend who took a flight to another country because she knows a boy she met only once at a party, lived there. Then she found him on Insta, messaged him, even though they only had seen each other once. She asked to meet up. He accepted. Then they hooked up. She obviously took gigantic and way too much action, but she still obtained a positive result. Are they married? Are they living together and married? Can I? Guys, you can take all the fucking action you like. She can think that doing that is going to make no difference. He's not going to think she's a nut, and he won't. It's what you're thinking about it. Guys, what a part of this don't you guys understand? You can take all the action you like, but it's what you're thinking about the action. It's what you're thinking about your person. It's what you're thinking about relationships. It's what you're thinking about money. It's what you're thinking. I don't care what the fuck action you take, but I'm telling you right now, it's what you're thinking when you take the action that matters. So what was that girl's thinking when she took the action? This is all going to work out. He's going to love me. Bing, that happened. Guys, why aren't some of you getting this? It's what you're thinking that matters. I don't care what fucking action you take. It doesn't matter. It matters what you're thinking whilst doing it, before you do it, when you do it, after you've done it. You can take action, be really fucking positive, be thinking it's going to be the greatest thing ever, send the text and then freak out and think, oh, I shouldn't have sent that. Oh, I shouldn't have worded that like that. Maybe I should delete it. Next minute, the outcome shit because you fucked it with your thinking. I've done it a million times, so I know what I'm talking about. Checking in to say my SP broke up with a third party. Oh, Dylan! All because I wiped him out months ago from my consciousness and forgot he even existed, and now he doesn't. Ah! You did that, darling. Masterful. Wonderful. Would you say Kim Kardashian has a low self-concept? No, fuck no. I think her self-concept's amazing. How's she achieved so much if it wasn't? I think her self-concept's pretty fucking amazing. I just think in relationships, she got herself in a situation with like Kanye where she was controlled by a narc a bit too much. So there's something going on there with her in relationships where maybe her self-worth in relationships isn't so great. But herself in career and stuff and the world and fame is strong. Maybe relationships not so much. Thanks, Boo. I need something up to date until I finish with colleges. Loz, do you have any recommendations for other reliable manifestation coaches? Okay, on YouTube. And I don't watch any YouTube, guys, so you just got to understand the only thing I watch on here now is like Johnny Depp stuff. Okay, lawyers talking about Johnny Depp. But the ones I have watched in the past, and I don't know what they're saying now, is like Sammy Ingram, Caleb from Pluto's Gate. I think he's changed the name of the channel, but apparently his teachings have really changed. So maybe not Caleb anymore, but I used to watch him. The one I would watch over everyone on YouTube is Create Your Future. Okay, it's the OG channel before Sammy, before anyone created their channels. There was always Amanda at Create Your Future. That is the OG Law of Assumption channel, even though they say Law of Attraction. Okay, I've seen a bit of Dylan James. He's a bit too Law of Attraction for me and a bit too Feeling State for me, but go and watch him. If he helps you, watch him. They're the YouTubers, okay? Oh, and Manifest with Kimberly and Kimberly's. Then on TikTok, Manifest with Kimberly's, okay? They're probably most aligned with what I say. we're kind of all reading from the same hymn sheet, kind of. Then also Sasha, I am Sasha Official on TikTok, Lifestyle Manifesting, which is a girl called Shannon, who's wonderful. And that's it. Mhm. Have you seen Kimberly's last video on states? Guys, I actually don't watch anyone's content on here. So just so you know, if she's put it on TikTok, I might have come across it, but she's wonderful. Watch whatever Kimberly says is right. Also, I have a second SP, kind of miss texting him. Should I reach out? We talk every day, but I kind of miss calling him. Well, do whatever you want to do, darling. You can decide that you can text every minute of the day if you want to work. If Amber Heard and Depp both had an innocent self-concept and will win the court case, self-concept, who would have won? What? If Amber Heard and Johnny Depp both had an innocent self-concept and will win the court's case, self-concept, who would have won? If they thought they were innocent. What do you mean, darling? You're saying if they both had the assumption that they were innocent and they weren't going to be charged, well, whoever's self-concept was stronger. I think Amber Heard's mind would have been very clouded by the amount, because she's so obsessed with how people see her, which is why she's doing things like pretending to go to TJ Maxx and be poor, which is exactly what she did when they divorced. She went to a 99-cent store. It's all contrived, okay? So she's so obsessed with her self-image that, and she kept saying that in the recordings, like, what about my image? I don't want anyone to know I used to be a stripper, right? She's so obsessed by that I think her downfall was she knew people were talking badly about her, and it totally fucked her mind during that trial. And that's why she just kept coming up with all kinds of elaborate lies, because she knew she was losing. She knew she was losing because she was watching too much social media and seeing what everyone thought about her. That's what fucked it up for her, right? Because she's obsessed with herself, like all narcissists are. Christina, in case you didn't receive earlier, thank you for everything. Oh, darling, thank you. You sent me another one. What, have you sent me two? Oh, Christina, did you actually have a question, darling? You're just telling me all the success you've had. Wonderful. Thank you. I don't really, is that what you're asking me, darling, about Amber Heard? I've seen results within a day or less with SP, just working on self-concept and being aware of my thoughts. Wonderful, Angela. Congrats. Please share how you did it. What are we talking about, Dylan? Yes? Oh, yes, getting rid of third party. Like, I know you said you ignored them, forget about them, but like how? Guys, you've got to just banish them from your mind. They don't exist. You just take that person out, throw them in the trash. They're gone. You don't think about them anymore. Hi, Loz. Could you please give some affirmations for SP to ask me out for a coffee, please? Also, thank you for always your help and support. My self-concept has transformed, and all thanks to you. Oh, okay, wonderful. Darling, do you want just the coffee, or do you want to be with them? I would go to the end of seeing you in a relationship together, and you can go have coffee every day. You're kind of worrying about the how, which is the coffee date, all right, and them asking you. I would go right to the end of seeing you and them together. Imagine you having coffee. Imagine you sitting in bed having coffee. Imagine lying in bed and bringing you a coffee. Imagine walking to a Starbucks together and sitting at the Starbucks, and you've been together so long you no longer even talk. You're just reading the paper or looking at your phones and sipping coffee and looking at each other. Got nothing else to say. You've run out of stories. I would go to that end rather than worrying about the date. You can also imagine the date too, but that's the how, darling. Mm-hmm. Yes, I love her. State's very important. States is all the manifest, guys, what you think you are. Okay. Oh my God, literally last night I said, people keep requesting me on Insta. I have 500 follows. Oh my God, I keep getting requests from people every day. That's great, darling. Someone just requested me as I typed that. Oh, yes, 1 million. Some guy in Cali won the lotto and is donating. My number was randomly chosen. What? Some guy in Cali won the lotto and is donating my number and is donating to you out of a random lot of numbers and chose you and giving you $1 million out of the millions he won. Oh my God, Samantha. What were you doing? Were you manifesting money? Or are you just working on a self-concept that I'm loved and adored and mesmerizing and everyone does what I want and I have a lavish lifestyle? What were you saying? Wow. Katie Graham. Hi, Loz. You've changed my life. Oh, wonderful, darling. Thank you. Just want to say hello. Everything is going great, by the way. Oh, wonderful, darling. Great. He's driving by his work to see him as I drive by stalking. Well, would you be doing that if you're together, darling? Because stalking is considered, I don't have him. Yes, because I just don't want to see him, or should I not drive by? Guys, if you were together, would you be driving by their work just to check they were there? That'd be a pretty fucked up relationship. Wouldn't you just assume they're coming home that night and you'd see them? Think about that. Hey, Loz, there was a guy I had 2 dates with in March. Things were going amazing. Then I deleted him on Snap due to insecurities. He deleted me back and I tried to fix things, which he ignored. Since then, I've been working on self-concept, dominantly thinking he wants to see me again. We're dating. I feel better, but slightly impatient, even though it's already done. Sometimes sad thoughts come. Well, what insecure thoughts, where did they come from, darling? That's what you've got to fix. But I'll continue to persist and say in my mind over and over. I guess it's just self-concept work I need to push through. Why were you insecure? Why'd you delete him in the first place? Fix all those thoughts you had, darling. Think about what the thoughts were at the time when you felt insecure and blocked him. Think about that. What were they? Change all those, and then he'll be back. And then see you and them together and all the things you're currently doing. Hi, Loz. I'm on top of the world. Oh, wonderful. Needed to remind myself this works, and picked up an SP I haven't talked to in years. Didn't think he had my number, but told myself he was going to reach out. He pocket FaceTime me, and we've been talking since. You did that. That's wonderful. How come whenever I feel low and bad self-concept, I look in the mirror and feel better? Does that mean I actually don't have bad self-concept, or just do I find myself attractive? Well, if that works for you, darling, do it. Because whenever I asked you about how you got your car, the exact same story happened to me. I think it's because your story really inspired me. The exact same story was how I brought it to my reality. Oh, really, Cindy? Wonderful. I will do a video. I made a video ages ago about how I manifested that car, and I'll have to put it up on YouTube. It's like the story, but it's a really long, it's like 10-minute story about all the ins and outs of it. But it might be a good manifestation story about how the bridge of incidents to get me there were all really bad. And I didn't think like no one would have thought I would have got the car after everything that happened. I'll put it up eventually. But I will continue. Oh shit, this has jumped. But I will continue to assist and say it in my mind over and over. I guess it's my self-concept work. Yes. I'm 5 days away from Leo season. Oh, okay. You might be a cusper, Cindy. Oh, we don't talk about astrology here, guys. I notice myself going into the mirror when I feel low, instantly feel better. It's confusing. Well, just give it that meaning that makes you feel good, darling. You might have that assumption, so it's working. Hey, Loz, I'm doing very well with my mental diet, but I just woke up with a horrible dream. But SP right now, darling, it's just a dream. Don't give it meaning. Just be like, oh, well, haha, I can laugh at that. It was just a dream. Yes. I think the Kardashians have superb self-concept when it comes to success, but when their dad died, they were little. They had perpetual fear of being abandoned. No, they weren't little. They were all teenagers. They were adults. Chloe was the youngest. She was the most fucked up about it. I don't know if they have abandonment issues. I don't think they do. Personally, I think they've more got self-concept issues about their looks. Hey, Loz, I manifested my SP back after 6 weeks of no contact, and also the mum cheated, which is why I was talking about Courtney the other day, knowing all that story, and I don't know, that's why she couldn't trust Scott, I reckon, but she's really worked on that now. But hey, maybe they've got abandonment, I don't know. Hey, Loz, I manifested my SP back after 6 weeks of no contact and have been talking almost every day. However, and I could, because you can still get affected by a parent dying even when you're an adult. It will give you abandonment issues, absolutely. So I could be completely wrong about that. I manifest my SP back after 6 weeks, no contact, and we've been talking almost every day. Oh, Monique! However, is it bad I initiated contact? No. And I feel as though he's a little blunt with his replies. Well, stop saying he's blunt. He even admitted that he's been watching my Snapchat location and seeing that I haven't been viewing his Insta stories. Well, give it all good meaning, darling. He's spying on you, looking at your socials, wanting you to look at his stories. Don't worry about the bluntness. You're assuming it's bluntness. Sometimes they're busy. Sometimes they're at work. Sometimes they're just men and they're not very emotional in their text. Don't read into it. Guys, texts are notoriously hard to read tone. You're assuming the tone of bluntness, but it could just be him being a guy and being busy and just writing one word. What are you assuming about what they've written? I finally saw movement with my SP. I've been affirming he loves me and wants to spend time with me, and he asked me to hang out this week. Next step, committed relationship. Oh, really wonderful. Trying to revise my college experience from bad to great, from being suspended and missing year to actually graduating same college with honours. We'll do that, darling. See yourself as graduated from there and at work. Trying to he even admitted these. I love that. Hi, Mario. Okay, Loz. Thank you ever so much again explaining about the coffee date. Honestly, whenever you explain something to me, my brain just responds to you like magic lol. But there, thank you once again. Okay, good, Kev. My question is, let's say 2 girls have self-concept of being a girlfriend to a boy. Which one of those 2 girls would actually date the one person in 3D? In your reality, you're dating them in your reality. Fuck knows what's going on in theirs. I don't profess to understand quantum physics enough to know what's going on in someone else's reality that I can't witness. I only know what I'm seeing in mine, guys. You can only know what's happening in yours. You understand this? You can only see what's happening in yours. I went to type a text to SP2, spoke to SP1, and he said text word for word. I don't know if it's bird for land or bridge, but I'll take it. That's wonderful. It said the text. Wonderful. What's this, Sarah? She thought I was tickling him and playing, told him I will not let him do that in front of my son. It took 3 repeats of it and he backed down. So proud of myself. I've never been able to do that before. I'm strong and I've got this. Thank you, Lois, being there for us. Oh, where's the beginning of this, Sarah? I missed the beginning. Oh, there's no beginning of that, Sarah. Well, that's wonderful. You stood up for yourself. Wonderful, darling. Hooray. What should we do when we want to talk about we've been the one to start the convo for the last 2 weeks and we want them to pursue us? Well, imagine them pursuing you. How do you not contact him and trust that I affirm will let him come to me? Well, you're obviously not trusting that he's going to come to you. That's why you keep reaching out. Sometimes I want to talk to him, so it's just cool knowing I want from him to pursue me. I'm the prize. Guys, if you're constantly pursuing them, you haven't stepped in the state that they're pursuing you and you're doing it out of fear. That's the way you're thinking about it. Okay, Loz, I need him to be committed now. Affirmations this. Why do you need him to be committed now? Why do you need it? Take that word out of there, darling. Just assume he is. I have another question. When we're manifesting, do we shift realities where we have the desire or the desire shifts to our current reality or something completely different? No, we shift to a reality where with our imaginal senses, we sense the new reality. And then once we have accepted that in our mind and ensconced in our mind that new reality and that new imaginal scene, we are now in the new reality. Your imagination creates. So as you imagine that scene and it's become strong in your mind, you've literally stepped into a new reality based on the new state of you, based on your imaginal scenes, imaginal reality. Your mind is creating from what's in here. Sorry, your reality is creating from what's in here. And you're stepping from the state of imagining it's not here to imagining it's here. So you step into another reality where it was already here, but now you've imagined it. You can see it, and now it's here. I'm not explaining that very well. Hey, Loz, it always makes me feel better to imagine my SP thinking he can't live without me and sees me as the one and only for him. I find doubts gradually being released from my being. That's good, darling. Wonderful. Get rid of those doubts. Thank you, Loz. Yes, at the time when I deleted him, I was thinking he was taking ages to reply and was checking to see when he would reply and felt nervous and reliant on his replies. Well, then, okay, then you manifested him disappearing as well because you thought he was. But now I've worked on that saying relationships always work out for me. And every time I like a guy, they want to commit to me and get to know me too. I'm too important to lose. Wonderful, darling. That's great. 2 tarot readers said my SP will meet someone new this year and said that someone new is his soulmate, future wife. How do I deal with this? That's your fears manifest, darling. Tarot readers are only reflecting your thinking. Did you look at the tarot or go to the tarot because you assume they'd find someone else that's their soulmate and you're fucked and they won't want you? Ta-da, that's why you even went or why you were even watching. They're just reflecting your thinking. Stop listening to that crap if it's affecting you. But if it's helping you, listen to it. But obviously it's not helping you. So until you change your thinking, stop reading tarot or going to tarot or looking at tarot on your view page. The law of attraction gurus used to tell me that whatever you watch, aka movies and TV, show will manifest in your reality. I know they're morons, however, what is your opinion? Whatever you watch, aka movies and TV show, will manifest. Oh, so if I watch Terminator 2, I'm going to turn into a Terminator. If I watch The Lion King, I'm going to be a lion? What? Darling, I'm dumbfounded by some of the shit that comes out of people's mouths and they think they know what they're talking about. Now I've worked on that by saying, oh, good. That's wonderful. Do you have to feel like you already have it, or can you feel like it's coming with 100% believe it's coming? You can do that, guys. Coming or here, whichever's best for you. There is always movement in 3D, yes. How do we let go of the old story? Guys, you've got to imagine the new story more than you're thinking the old story. The only way to get rid of the old story is to think the new story. The old story won't go away by itself. Focus on the new story. Script it, read it, imagine it, have scenes about it, affirm about it. New story, new story, new story. I like this woman's talk. Oh, thank you, darling. How do you have boundaries versus letting the bridge of incidents unfold, as in saying no to breadcrumbs or just meaningless texts? Alison, you've got a whole lot of story about the texts are meaningless, that they breadcrumb you. And until you change that thinking, no amount of boundaries you set in the 3D like a fucking nutcase is going to make any difference because they're just reflecting you. So if you've got a dominant story that they breadcrumb you, if you've got a dominant story they send shitty, meaningless texts, and they'll continue to do that until you change that thinking. So you can say to them all you're like, I want more text. I want a substantial text. I want you to spend more time with me. I want you to call me 10 times a day. They won't fucking do it because all they're doing is reflecting your shitty self-concept thoughts about how you get breadcrumbed. Where are you getting that from? Oh, that's your self-concept of feeling like you get abandoned, not listened to, ignored, not loved, not wanted, etc. They're just reflecting you. So setting boundaries in the 3D never fucking works because all they can do is reflect you, guys. You're the mirror, they're the mirror, and you're standing in front of it. And you can set a boundary to the mirror all you like. Tomorrow morning when I wake up, mirror, I want you to show me in makeup and I want you to send me texts. Is the mirror going to do it? It's just reflecting back what you're doing right now. Guys, please stop setting fucking boundaries with your SP. I feel seen. Thank you. Okay, so if you constantly got ignored as a kid, or were being told to be seen and not heard, or you had lots of siblings, or you got ignored, or you weren't given affection or attention, or people abandon you, you're going to assume your SP is doing the same, even when they just send a fucking text, Alison. And it's got nothing to do with them. And what you'll do when you set a boundary, just let me explain this, guys, and this is why you lose people, is you get triggered by them doing a thing like not sending an adequate text, or you thought they were breadcrumbing you. You react or set a boundary. They think you are an A grade full on fucking nut job because what you're thinking they're doing has nothing to do with them and only to do with your thinking. They think you're a Looney Tune by setting the boundary. They think, oh my God, this girl's a fucking needy. And they go, okay, let's take a break. And you go, oh! But you manifested that by thinking you need to set the boundary out loud in the 3D based on your insecure thoughts. Whenever I see fucking boundary setting videos, it just drives me crazy. Please, for the love of God, stop telling your SP what to do. Please, for the love of God, stop setting boundaries. The only boundary you need to set is the boundary in your own mind. If you don't want to be physically abused, remove yourself from the place where you're getting physically abused or the person and never see them again. Okay, I'm not talking about sticking around with bad behavior, but you've got to understand that verbally setting a boundary with a person will make absolutely no fucking difference because it's you're thinking about setting the boundary, you're thinking about the person, you're thinking about yourself. So setting the boundary verbally in the 3D will make absolutely no fucking difference. So if you're watching any dumb creators saying set a boundary out loud, you've got to think, well, what am I thinking when I say this out loud? And you can set a boundary. I'm not saying you can't. But whilst you're saying it, and before you said it, and after you said it, what were you thinking? So if you say to a person, I want to see you more than once a week, that's what I expect from this relationship, and that's what I want. And you decide that you saying that will work, they won't be thrown by it, you're just standing your ground, la, 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 and everything will work out, it'll work out. But if you say that and then think you're being too needy, if you say that and think you're being demanding, if you say that and think they won't like it, they won't like it. It's what you're thinking about what you're saying. I'm not saying you can't say things out loud. I'm not saying you can't walk away. But what I'm saying is think about what you're thinking when you say it. Because the boundary setting itself isn't what manifests what happens. It's what you're thinking about setting the boundary and why you need to set the boundary in the first place that manifests. And the reason you felt the need to set the boundary was based on your self-concept, which if you just bothered to change your self-concept in the first place, you wouldn't feel the need to set the boundary because they're only showing up reflecting that self-concept that you have not changed. Do you guys get this? Please stop setting fucking boundaries. It's like trying to hold in the sea on the beach, okay? And the beach is coming, the waves are coming, and I just get a hold of sandbags. And I'm like, sandbags, sandbags, sandbags. This beach is just going to keep coming. These waves are going to keep coming. I need to stop them hitting the beach, right? The sandbags is me setting the boundary. I have an assumption that the sea will constantly keep rolling and the waves will keep coming. That's why I'm setting the boundaries up, why I'm setting up the sandbag in the first place. And I think that sandbag is going to make any difference to a sea rolling in constantly. That's my assumption. The sea keeps coming. I have to put this here to stop it. You guys are sandbagging yourself in your relationships. Stop that. Does that analogy make any sense? Hi, Loz. Misunderstood. Thank you for the super chat. Do bridges of incidents always appear negative? No. That's my only question. You've taught me so much. I know the other answers. Love you. Oh, wonderful. No, guys, they don't have to be negative. Bridge of incidents can be wonderfully positive. Can be great. I'll tell you a bridge of incidents in my life that's not anywhere, nothing negative. Okay? Well, it kind of started with something negative. So my best friend and I had an argument, and just before that, she argued with me. She gave me a plant for my birthday. I left it in my windowsill. It died. After we had the fight, when I opened up my curtains a couple of days later and it had died, I felt really bad, and I decided I need to learn how to water plants. So I started watching plant videos on YouTube about how to water plants because I always killed them. Then I got really into plants and I started buying plants. Then after I got into indoor plants, I decided I was going to build a veggie garden out the back of my house. And then I started watching videos about the best way to build a veggie garden. And one of them was go and get lawn clippings and put lawn clippings in the soil. So I decided the next time I heard someone mowing or saw someone mowing in my street, I would ask them for the lawn clippings. The next morning, I heard a lawnmower because my window was open. I jumped out of bed, threw on a dressing gown, ran over the street, saw a lawnmower man there with a huge truck full of lawn clippings, thought, oh, this guy's cute. Asked him for the lawn clippings. He became my SP. It wasn't a negative necessarily bridge of incidents. It was a bridge of incidents about liking plants, right? Not necessarily, but sometimes it can be, yes. Um, 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 I've started to imagine my negative thoughts as someone telling me my name isn't Zainab when obviously no one can deny my own name. It helps me so much to see them as fake and meaningless. That's wonderful, darling. Absolutely see them as fake and meaningless. Like a voice. It's just like, who is that in there? Shut up. Exactly. Yes, try it. Yes. Hi, let's hope you're well, hon. Oh, thanks, Amanda. I don't want to repeat circumstance, but I've been feeling down about the no contact with my SP. I know he still loves me and wanted to marry me. I feel bad knowing I caused this. How can I be motivated again? Look, guys, when you realize you caused things, it can be very unmotivating and very demoralizing because you realize, fuck, I did this. Okay. So decide they still want you. They're married to you. They love you. Don't worry about the way you fucked it up. Decide, okay, I did that. Now I'm changing it. Mhm. I'm doing better with my negative thoughts, but they still pop up. It's been my biggest hurdle with this whole thing. Oh, guys, look, they will. So just decide they don't anymore. How do we effectively live in the state of the wish fulfilled? Try and think of the thoughts that align with that thinking as much as you can throughout the day via affirmations, via visualizations, via scripting, whatever you can do to imagine you are now the person you want to be. Mhm. I heard that people who get diagnosed with disassociation talk a lot similar to people who believe in law of assumption, a lot of similarities. What? Because they're disassociating with reality. Is that what you're talking about? I don't understand that question at all, darling, or why that would have any correlation. Talk about who believe in the law of assumption. It's guys, it's law of assumption isn't something to believe in. It's what is actually happening. You can either believe it is or it isn't, but it's still happening. It's like law of gravity. You can decide law of gravity doesn't affect you, but it will still affect you regardless of whether you believe it or not. I don't understand that at all, darling. I'm trying to make sure I'm not affirming from place of lack. Could you please share a quick example of what affirming from lack versus affirming from the end sounds like? Affirming from lack might be like, I've still got so much money, I've got so much money comes to me quickly and easily, money, because you're so freaked out that you've got a pile of bills in front of you that you can't pay. In the state of contentment, I know it's coming, knowingness, I have so much money. I know I'm going to be able to pay this bill tomorrow because I can always pay my bills. It's like the state you're in while you're doing it. You could be affirming from fear or affirming from knowing. That answer your question. Can you manifest on a deadline with 100% belief? If you really believe you can, darling, I don't do it because I think it's not necessary and I think it comes at its own time. But if you believe you can do it, then go ahead and get back to us. I've been affirming that my SP in another country invited me to see him this summer. Today, his good friend DM'd me asking if I was coming to Poland this summer. Oh, wonderful. Where's the rest of that, Olivia? Part 2. Then SP's friend messaged me again, inviting me to his birthday party, saying her love to see me. I've never met the SP's friend in person before. That's not Fat Birds for Land. I don't know what is. Oh, wonderful. You did that. Hooray. My SP sent me a thumbs up after like 7 or 8 months of no contact. I think I need to do more self-concept. Would have liked a better message, but glad I know he's thinking of me. Guys, don't read into the small messages. They can just send hey or a thumbs up and just decide that means they don't know what else to say. They're nervous. They're so nervous to talk to you. All they know how to send is a thumbs up or a hey or whatever. Don't give it bad meaning. Give it excellent meaning. Give it only the meaning you want it to mean. What's this, Sassy? Where's the beginning of this? Haven't seen SP in 6 weeks, and we went to a baseball game for his birthday. Also met his family that night. Like little to no contact since. I wished him happy F Day Sunday. He replied that he had so much to tell me and asked if we could chat. I said it would be great to catch up. He never called or contacted. I asked if everything was okay at night and we could catch up, left on red, trying to give a good meaning. Well, don't think you have to contact. Don't think you have to reach out. Decide that there's just something going on with them or they're busy or whatever, and don't give it bad meaning, darling. Don't give anything bad meaning, okay? Especially lack of contact. What does it mean about me if SP didn't want me to say hi to his mum? Well, that you're hidden, that no one knows about you, that you aren't chosen. It's you're thinking about yourself, darling. What do you think about yourself? Hi, Lois. How to stop waiting for manifestation to happen? I feel like I'm waiting. Look, I know, guys, a lot of you are in the state of waiting, and it's very hard not to be. It's very difficult. I can do that sometimes without realizing and then think, oh, I've got to think it's already here. Yes, that's right. It's already here. It's hard sometimes. I get it. So start living in the state in your mind as much as you can in the thoughts that it is already here. Imagine more scenes, implying it's here. Affirm more that it's already here. Try and live in your mind as much as you can that it's already here, as much as you can. All right, guys, I'm going to go soon. What should we call this live? What are we talking about? States manifesting, setting boundaries with SP. with SP and states. Setting boundaries with SP and states. I'll call it that, darling. Guys, it's darling. It'll be the thumbnail, red thumbnail. What's this, Whitney? Loz, I don't even remember I was affirming for more than standard 3% raise. Well, I got 5%. It's not the 10% I was affirming for, but glad it's not 3. Boss didn't mention our bonus. I was going to ask, though. 3 months. Oh, wonderful, Whitney, you did that. Hi, Loz. Very sick and not able to learn for my exam I have tomorrow. Can I still manifest a desired grade? You decide you got the grade you wanted and that being sick doesn't affect you being able to do the exam, darling. SP followed me on TikTok and sent me a random video, assuming he wants to reach out, but trying to see if it will be receptive. But he's trying to see if it will be receptive. Yes, give it that meaning. He's just trying to test the waters. He's so nervous. Whatever it is that will help you. All right, guys. Can I get to everyone? I hope so. My friend got a problem with his ex-wife and trying to manipulate him and keep him. How can I help him to get out of this? He wants to be free and happy. We'll just assume that the wife isn't like that anymore. She's not manipulative anymore. He's free and happy. See him free and happy with someone else, or free and happy without anyone. Yes, you can decide that the third party forced him to post a pic. Cindy, do that. All right, guys, I'm going to go. So please do follow me if you don't follow me already. I mean, subscribe, sorry, on YouTube. I'm talking like I'm on TikTok. There's also my TikTok. Also, make sure you sign up on my email list, guys, for the self-concept course and coaching coming out. Will be out soon, so make sure you get on that list. The link's in all my bios. And also, there's my ebook if you want to download that. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching me, and I'll be live this week on TikTok. Bye, guys.